DLC. I think the enemy layouts are really strong here. If we isolate the enemy talk to the game's mandatory portions, then there's a lot of overlap, maybe more than you realize on an initial playthrough. Most of the enemies introduced in Central Yharnam in the beginning are mainstays throughout the entire game, like the Huntsman's Minion, the Carrion Crows, Dogs, Yharnamites, and Skirts Beasts. Each new area has at least one new enemy type introduced, but since the old ones tend to show up again, there's a really strong sense of cohesion. The exception in the main game is the Nightmare of Mensis, but since that's a nightmare, it doesn't really matter. And here, the same logic applies. It's really commendable, I think, that the enemies are as cohesively located, wheelchair-bound Yharnamite in the tower to Upper Cathedral Ward aside, but I really do like that once the laws of reality around us get shifty, the developers allow themselves to get a bit more expressive in what enemies we're fighting. As it relates to the main game, the cohesion links back to what I said about Bloodborne being the most localized Miyazaki game. That is, the enemy variety has to justify its existence in vicinity to the rest of the enemies.